By the 250s BC, King Shaoxiang of Qin, Yingji, had ruled for nearly 5 decades. Under his leadership, guided by Fan Zhu's distant alliances and local offensives strategy, Qin had defeated major rivals, most notably in the brutal Battle of Changping. Yet even the most formidable ruler could not escape time. Now in his 70s, a venerable age in ancient China, King Shaoxiang's reign was nearing its end. But a critical question loomed: who would inherit the mantle of Qin? King Shaoxiang had already appointed his son, Yingzhu, as crown prince. However, Yingzhu was over 50, and in an era of fragile health and short life expectancy, there was no guarantee he would outlive his father. More pressing was the issue of Yingzhu's successor, as he had over 20 sons and no clear favorite. Among these sons was Yiren, an overlooked and politically sidelined prince. His mother had long since lost the crown prince's favor, and Yiren had been sent to Hoarding, the capital of Shao, as a political hostage. There, amid the rising tension between Qin and Shao, he lived in obscurity and danger. On multiple occasions, he narrowly escaped execution as Hao considered retaliating against Qin's aggressions. Enter Elblay, a savvy merchant from the state of Wei. When Bui encountered Yiren and learned of his royal bloodline, he saw not a forgotten hostage, but a rare treasure worth hoarding. This, Bui believed, was his once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, not to profit from commerce, but to rise to power in the strongest state under heaven.
I can help raise your status,
Bui told Yiren. Yiren replied with a bitter smile.
You may succeed in elevating yourself, but for me, that's impossible.
Bui insisted.
I will rise only after you do. If you become the next king of Qin, I'll have fulfilled my dream.
Yiren, half in jest and half in hope, responded.
If that miracle happens and I inherit Qin, I'll divide the realm in half and govern it with you.
The pact was sealed. With his ambition ignited, Elbui sprang into action. First, he invested half of his fortune to support Yiren and Hoarding, improving his living conditions, building his reputation, and helping him forge key friendships among local elites. But the real power move was yet to come. Bui discovered that Lady Huayang, Yinghu's favored consort, was childless, an insecure position in a royal household. He made contact with her sister in Hanyang, the capital of Qin, and through lavish gifts and careful diplomacy, arranged an audience with Lady Huayang herself. He spoke with tact but precision.
Madam, your honored position depends on the crown prince's favor, but you have no son. If he dies, your status could vanish overnight.
Lady Huayang, moved by his words, asked.
What should I do?
Bui responded.
Adopt one of the prince's sons, one who will owe his future to you. I recommend Yiren. Though currently neglected, he is capable and loyal. Help him become the heir, and he will revere you forever.
Lady Huayang agreed and began championing Yiren's case to her husband. At the time, Yingzhu was uncertain about succession. The words of his beloved wife weighed heavily, and he dispatched envoys to assess Yiren's reputation in Hoarding. Thanks to Bui's groundwork, the envoys returned with glowing reports. Yinghu soon approved Yiren as heir, and allowed Lady Huayang to formally adopt him as her son. Thus, Yiren was summoned back to Qin, rescued from obscurity and positioned as the next ruler of a rising empire. Before Yiren left Hoarding, Bui deployed one final masterstroke, a honey trap with dynastic consequences. He invited Yiren to his home for a lavish banquet and arranged for his stunning concubine, Xiaoji, to perform dances and pour wine. Her every gesture was enchanting, her presence disarming. Yiren, smitten beyond restraint, pleaded with Bui to give her to him. At first, Bui feigned outrage. Then, with theatrical reluctance, he agreed, securing an even deeper sense of obligation from Yiren. More than a romantic gesture, this was a political bond. Xiao Ji became a conduit of loyalty, information, and influence. In time, Hao Ji bore Yiren a son, a boy who would become Ying Zheng, the future Qin Shi Huang, first emperor of China. Through this intricate dance of ambition and manipulation, a merchant had midwifed the birth of an empire. Al Bui's gamble had paid off. From merchant to chancellor, he rose with Yiren, who would ascend the throne as King Huangxiang of Qin. Though their alliance would eventually fray, the empire Bui helped shape would change the course of Chinese history. Yiren was once a discarded pawn. Xiao Ji, once a concubine, became the mother of a unifier. And Ying Zheng, born of calculated ambition, would go on to forge the first centralized Chinese empire. In the end, the man who saw a rare treasure worth hoarding had not only spotted value, but had reshaped history itself.